I always like to say a little Bon Jovi never hurt anybody. So there's a story that goes with this next song, and some of you might have been at some of the other shows, so you might have heard this, but just bear with me. But when I was coming up as a singer-songwriter in California, I would play any and every gig that I could get, like you have to do when you're trying to make a name for yourself in whatever business you do. And one of the gigs that I was getting time and time again was at weddings, because I was writing all these hopeless romantic love songs. And I started thinking that I would just like grow out a mullet and go for it and be the wedding singer. But anyways, so this one time I got a phone call. I didn't recognize the area code. I picked up the phone and this guy's like, "Hey, is this Tyrone Wells?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is. Who's this?" And this guy's like, "My name's Eric and I'm calling you from Utah." And I was like, "What's going on, Eric, from Utah?" And he said, "Check it out." He said, "You have this song that you wrote and it's like me and my girlfriend, it's our song." And I was like, "Well, thank you for calling me from Utah to tell me that. That's nice." And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "But the real reason I'm calling you, man, is because I thought it'd be awesome if you could play at my," and I thought he was going to say my wedding, but he didn't. He said, "I thought it'd be awesome if you could play at my proposal." And I was like, "Wait, what did you just say?" He goes, "I thought it'd be awesome if you played at my proposal." And I'm like, "I've never done that before. What exactly do you want me to do?" And he said, "I just thought it'd be so cool, Tyrone, if, like, when I went down on my knee, if you, like, appeared." And I laughed too. I'm like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." So we talked about it for a while longer, and finally I'm like, "You know what? This is too weird and cool to pass up. I'm totally in. Let's do this." So he flies in from Utah in Southern California, where I live, and we stage this thing on the Balboa Beach. There's a beach there, and there's a pier that goes out from the beach. Some of you, have you been there? Okay. At the end of the pier, there's a Ruby's restaurant. It's at the very end. And so Eric is like, "Meet me on the pier at such and such a time." I'm like, "Cool." We show up. I'm on the pier. He's like, he told me, he's like, "Look for a guy in a suit." I'm like, "All right, look for a tall, bald guy with a guitar." And he was like, "Right." So we met on the pier, and I'm like, I'm turning on. He's like, "He's Eric." And then he's like, "Okay, Deborah, she's coming." He told me her parents were in on the whole thing. And so they know what's going on, but she has no idea. She thinks that she's going to a musical or to a play or something. And so he tells me to go to the end of the pier and hide in the Ruby's restaurant. He's like, "When I go down on my knee, man, you got to run out there and start playing." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so I go hide in the Ruby's restaurant, and he goes down to the end of the pier, and we're both waiting. The stage is totally set. I see this girl start walking down the pier, and there's two older people behind her, like looking all expectantly. So I'm like, "That's got to be Deborah." And so I'm watching her walk down the pier, and I remember my hands were all sweaty, and I'm like, "This is the weirdest gig I've ever played." And so, anyways, I see that he has seen her, but she has not seen him. And so you can almost see this guy's heart beating out of his chest as he's watching Deborah walk toward him. And then she sees him, kind of wigs out, runs toward him. He goes toward her. He goes down on his knees, holding onto her hands. And meanwhile, if you like press pause, I'm in the Ruby's restaurant. I've got a family of 5 eating burgers and fries right here next to me, and I'm looking out the window with my guitar on my body. And I think I was making them a little concerned because I'm like standing right next to him with the guitar, and they're like, "What are you doing?" So we started talking, and we're like, "Well, this is Happy Deborah." We're watching together, like, this is so cool. Anyways, long story short, we all got transfixed in the moment, and I'm watching it all go down. I'm like, this is so cool to be a part of this, you know? And I'm watching, and then it dawns on me, like, hold on a second. I'm supposed to appear. So I throw open the door, and I start sprinting toward them because I was worried that I was missing my moment. And I think from Deborah's perspective, it was all extremely overwhelming, because first I know she was like, "Why is Eric at the end of this pier in a tux?" And then I know she was like, "And why is that tall bald guy sprinting at me right now with a guitar?" But I just tried to be cool, and I started playing the song, and she mellowed out because after all, it's their song. But the worst part about this story is that Deborah said no. Yeah, that's actually not true. She said yes. But it did cross my mind while I was playing, like, she has every right to say no, and how awkward would that be for me and Eric and everybody. But last night it was really cool. I told that story, and someone had emailed me in advance, and they said, "I want to propose to my girlfriend at your show tomorrow night," or last night. So in New York, I got the cue. He's like, I have to say right after the story, I was like, "Tara, you should turn around." And so Tara turned around, and her boyfriend was on his knee proposing. It was really cool. And the girls all flipped out, and the guys were like, "Whatever." But anyways. This song is called Seabreeze. Hope you like it. Did I really leave her? Or was it just a sweet dream? lingers in the morning like a melody, over and over, all through the day. I can't stop thinking about how I'm feeling this way. She moves like a sea breeze, swirling around me. The fragrance that she leaves hangs in the air, soft like a whisper. She's calling me to her. These eyes have seen the most beautiful to be. Found each other staring at the waves. We started talking, couldn't break away. I made plans to meet tonight down by the pier. When midnight strikes, I'm gonna hold that dream near. She moves like sea breeze, swirling around me. The fragrance that she leaves hangs in the air, soft like a whisper. She's calling me to her. These eyes have seen the most beautiful thing. Tomorrow, surprise. Oh, she took my heart with one look in her eyes, to a place that feels like home. She moves like a sea breeze, swirling around me. The fragrance that she leaves hangs in the air. Oh, she moves like a sea breeze, swirling around me. The fragrance that she leaves hangs in the air, soft like a whisper. She's calling me to her. These are